welcome to this beginner's guide to using resin. What I'm going to do is go through several really important points for anybody that is new to resin or is looking to get into resin crafting as part of their hobby or to set up a small business. I've done a video on how to price your work and how to set up to be able to make stuff to sell. This is just an extract from that video. The full video will be linked in the description below, so check it out. It really will help you. One of the things that you really need to know is that not all resin brands are created equal. There is a real big difference between brands and the quality of their resin. I always use J-Diction or T-Expert, and the reason I use those is because I'm confident about their quality. They are really good resins, they're very hard, and I have never had a problem with them curing or the transparency of them. I always have a discount code for them, and I'll link that in the description below if you're interested in that. If not, T-Expert do a brilliant kit for resin to see if you want to try it. It's got everything in it that you'll need to make some great projects. So I covered a video on this, doing a comparison, and some of the resins, even the expensive ones, worked out really badly. They yellowed really quickly, didn't cure properly. So this is the results of that video. And if you want to check out the whole video, then that again is linked in the description below. I want to show you these. It's been 2 weeks now since I started this experiment, and one of them, as you can see, has gone really yellow. And I promise you, there is no tomfoolery around this. I have no skin in any of these games, to be perfectly honest, because I can recommend any resin and get an affiliate link for it. I just want to make sure that you know which one is the best, really, for going yellow and for bubbles. And the other thing that's important is that different resins are for different projects. You get deep pore resins, you get heat resistant resins, you've got UV resins, you've got shallow pore resins, medium pore resins. So it's important to make sure that you get the right resin for the right product and the right finish that you're looking for. Because if not, what will happen is your project will fail if you don't use the correct resin. For example, if you've got a large mold that's really deep, or you want to do a river table or something like that, and you use just a normal resin, it probably will flash cure, get cracks in it, and not cure very well. Also, it will yellow really quickly because the resin is overheated when it's cured. This is what I mean by that. Well, this has now had another 5 minutes, so let's have a look at the temperature of this. And this is now showing us red on here, and it's 147.2, and that's showing us red. And on this one, we're still running at 84.2, which is fine, all nicely in the green. And again, the full-length video is in the description below. It's really important whenever you're using resin to take care of you and your health. I'm extremely allergic to resin, so if fumes get on me or if I get resin on me, I come out a really bad rash, which is contact dermatitis. I didn't used to get it. It's overexposure to resin. You can prevent that easily. I use resin nearly every single day and I never have a problem. So make sure that you use the right PPE. I never work without a mask and I never work without nitrile gloves and in a very well ventilated area. Full video is in the link in the description below. If you don't watch any other video in the link in the description, watch this one because it's really important. Now, lots of resins claim that they're going to be bubble free and that they work without bubbles, and once it's mixed there's no bubbles in it. Now, this is more likely with a deep cure resin because it's a very slow curing resin. It usually takes between 48 and 72 hours to fully cure hard. It gives time for the bubbles to disperse. But if you've not got that and you've got a quick cure resin or a thick resin, then when you mix it up, you are going to get bubbles. Now, I've made loads of different videos on how to avoid that. And this is just an excerpt from one of them. Below good room temperature, which is about 70 degrees Fahrenheit, then I would go and I would immerse these into warm water before pouring them, because cold resin thickened is going to produce a lot more bubbles. And this is the speed that I mix my resin at all times. Any faster and you're just going to introduce a load of bubbles to it. And there's lots of different ways that you can avoid getting bubbles. You will still have 1 or 2 micro bubbles in it unless you've got a pressure pot and you cure everything in a pressure pot, or you use a vacuum chamber, that removes the bubbles before casting. And I've got videos on both of those things. I love this little vacuum chamber. It's safe, it's economical, and it's so easy to use. Would you prefer resin that's like this, that's full of bubbles, or resin like this that has no bubbles in it at all? And all those bubbles are starting to come to the top. And we'll leave that running for its full length of time, and it will let us know when it's finished. If you're thinking about investing more into it once you've been working for a while, then this is one of the things that I recommend. Remember, whenever you're making things like coasters and that sort of stuff, heat resistance varies greatly with resins. Some resins are really heat resistant, some aren't. Most resins are heat resistant between 80 and 90 degrees centigrade, and I'll put up what that is in Fahrenheit just above me. But you really need to let your coasters sit and cure for about 4 weeks out of the mould to ensure that they get to that temperature. The other thing you need to remember is as soon as you add anything to the resin, like mica powders, glitter, alcohol inks, pigment, it changes that resin. And therefore, it isn't probably going to be as heat resistant as you think it's going to be, or it claims it's going to be. Because what it claims is, it claims it in its purest form, and that's without anything added to it, so just the clear resin. These coasters have now been curing for about 4 weeks, and this is the test that I'm going to do. Let's start the timer, and now we'll leave them there for 15 minutes and see what happens. And they are still fairly warm. So there we go. There's no mark at all on that one. It's not a bit sticky, which is excellent. Now, when using silicone molds with resin, and I use a lot of silicone molds, never use a chef's torch on them to pop bubbles. And avoid spraying alcohol on them as well. Alcohol will help disperse the bubbles, but also it creates a very fine mist in the air, which one is flammable, and 2 is extremely irritating for your lungs. Never ever do this. Don't use a lighter or anything flammable on your alcohol inks because it will cause a fire. It will also dry out your molds really, really quickly and prevent you're getting a full lifetime out of your mold. So the best thing to use is a long neck lighter. Go over it lightly. That isn't going to cause any damage, and it will just pop those surface bubbles. All the surface bubbles will be gone, and you'll get a much better result. Now this one's a biggie. If you don't get the results that you want the first time, don't panic. Don't let it put you off. We all make mistakes, and resin is a funny thing. Sometimes you get brilliant results, you do exactly the same thing, and you get slightly different results. You never get the same result twice with it. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't really keep trying. I have messed up so many projects, and I still do. Just because I'm a YouTuber, just because I show videos on YouTube, doesn't mean I never make mistakes. Because believe me, I do make mistakes, and things don't go right. Now, if you're really interested in learning more about resin, I've got a full set of videos, over 500 videos on my channel, and each one will help you and support you in improving and thinking about different ways to use resin and how to earn money from it. The other thing is, I also have a members group which anybody is welcome to join, and we have a Facebook group that goes along with that is strictly members only, and it is the most helpful group and supportive group I have ever been part of. So please consider joining that. I think you'll get a great deal from it as a beginner. I hope these little tips and tricks for being a beginner have helped you, because these are the things that most people don't tell you about using resin. Check out all the videos that are below, and if you'd like to buy me a coffee just to say thank you for all these tips and tricks and the support that I give, the link for that is in the description as well. Take care, enjoy your resin, bye.